press something on your computer, give permission. So come to a comfortable seated position if you're able to, but if you're very fatigued and you need to start from lying, that's also absolutely fine. So we have been working through the chakras the last few weeks, and this morning we're going to be focusing on manipura. Now, all the chakras are important. I cannot say that one is more important than any other, but I do feel, and this is my own personal experience also, that manipura, which is around the center of our body, around the belly area, it's particularly important when we have chronic fatigue, you know, however that is manifesting for us. And certainly when I worked with my own teacher, about 18 months ago, I did a 16-hour course on the chakras with my teacher, Kaustub. And I then went on and did a 1 month of chanting every day around this area. And I found that this is where I had the most change and transformation. And actually, manipura, which is also known as our sun center, is about transformation. So it's about the transformation of energy from matter into energy. And that is reflected in what we eat. It's about our digestion, but it's also reflected in how we digest our emotions and our experiences. You know, are we remaining stuck as we have an experience, or are we managing to process that healthily? It's also very much concerned with our willpower. So what that means is, are we being manipulated by external circumstances and by other people, or are we able to maintain our own sense of willpower and integrity? I'm just checking my notes so that I can explain that a little further, to remind myself. So it's seen that energy is also to do with our will. And this chakra is about power, vitality, motivation, ego, and autonomy. Now, in yoga, we are aiming towards union. I mean, that's what the word yoga means. It's about union. But nevertheless, we need a balance of this with our own willpower as well. So yes, Sylvia, don't worry, I'll let you back in when you need to. So don't worry about that. So it's about our sense of self as a separate being, as well as our sense of spiritual self with this union. So it's this kind of balance of sense of self with a sense of union with all of that goes on around us. The element is fire. In Sanskrit, this is Agni, and this fire helps our digestion. It helps, as I've already explained, this sense of transformation on all levels, and it combines matter and movement. If the chakra is, if we have too much prana here, it burns and it consumes, and we can see this in the world these days with the overconsumption of matter, of stuff, if you like, if you will. But then we get burnout. But, you know, in life might be too much if we're running from one thing to another and we're rushing around. And I see very much the illness, we might see illness as being a message where we need to just shut down and be quiet for a period of time while this transformation is happening. And then when we re-emerge, as so many of us do eventually from illness, we might see that the transformation invites us to be a different person and to have different priorities. And that is a process that happens over a period of time, something that quite a few of us are discussing on our Facebook page, our Facebook. So when manipura is in balance, we have a sense of self-worth, we're confident, we're reliable, we have good digestion. And I think that's probably, you know, all I need to say about this today, because I'm aware that if I talk too much, that is tiring. So I think it's really good now if we can come and focus on actually working with this chakra. So the bija mantra of this chakra is Ram. And when we chant that, we roll the R. And as always, chanting is a choice. So if you don't want to chant, you can just breathe or you can hum. So I now invite you to come to a comfortable sitting or lying position and to take your hands to your belly. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And as you inhale, just visualize that you are inhaling a sense of light, however you wish to visualize this, to this area. So you might like to see this as gentle sunlight, or you might like to actually visualize this as fire in this center. So we're going to inhale light into this center, and as we exhale, we're going to chant Ram, Ram, Ram. So you just try that up to 3 times in your own breathing rhythm. Inhaling sunlight or fire into the belly and exhaling and chanting Ram, Ram, Ram. And then just hold your sense of focus here. And I'm going to just do a little chant for you. Ram Agneye Swaha. Ram Agneye Swaha. Ram Agneye Swaha. And just continue to breathe, holding your focus around the navel area. Visualize light still coming in on the inhalation. And then take one hand and place it on your heart, the other on the belly or navel area. And if you're comfortable with this, just inhaling, visualizing the breath coming into the belly area rather than the heart area, and exhale and release. We're aiming on the breath being slow and low through the nose if you're able to. And then if you can, we're going to introduce a breathing ratio, which is called samana or coherent, the coherent breath. So if you can, you're going to inhale for a count of 3 and exhale for a count of 3. So you're aiming at making the inhalation and the exhalation of an equal ratio. And if you want to make that 4 and 4, you can. Just use a ratio that's comfortable for you. Visualizing light coming in on the inhalation and on the exhalation. Just feel that you are relaxing and releasing. And then when you're ready, please come down to a comfortable lying position. So that might be on your back. It might be on your front if you have particular breathing problems, or you can remain sitting. You can choose to lie on your side. And you can lie on any support you would like. So that might be on a sofa or on a bed. And I suggest you start, if you're on your back, with your knees bent and have some support under your head. And you can either have the arms a comfortable distance away from the body with the palms turned up, or you can rest the palms on your belly. And just take some time to settle into your relaxation posture. So start by just feeling the weight of your body on your support, being aware of the head, the heaviness of the head. And just feel your back against your support. Relax and release your shoulders if you're able to. You might like to just roll them against your support. Soften the area around the jaw. Softening the eyes. And then see if you can relax around the torso, the front and back of the body, particularly around the hips. And again, bring your awareness to the belly. Just visualizing fire in the belly or agony in the belly in any way that feels right for you. So if you're not comfortable with the visualization of fire, you might like to think of this as light. And just feel your body relaxing more and more on every exhalation. And then we're going to hum the breath out. So we're going to aim at, again, an even rhythm, the energy of samana, which is also associated with manipura chakra. So breathe in for 3 or 4, and then hum the breath out for the same ratio. And do that for up to 5 breaths, remembering everything I say is just a choice. So only do that if that's comfortable for you. But when we hum the breath, we help with nitric oxide, which helps to protect us against viruses. But it also helps to engage the vagus nerve. So humming and chanting helps to relax us. It helps to tone our vagus nerve, which is associated with the parasympathetic nerve. It helps to bring in social connection. It helps to restore our whole system. And then if it's comfortable for you, we're going to lie in a position which is really good for manipura chakra, which is the starfish. So I'd like you to think of a starfish. So providing you don't have any back issues, you could now straighten out your legs and have them apart. And then take the arms up behind you, providing you don't have shoulder problems. If you do, just have the arms maybe at shoulder height. So wherever is comfortable for you, think of your body as being like a starfish and take your awareness to the navel area, manipura chakra. And breathe into the belly, a sense of light on the in-breath. And as you exhale, direct this energy down through the legs and out through the arms. So you're sending energy out through the whole body. So breathing in to the belly, and then directing that energy out to the hands and the feet through the limbs. So just try that for a few comfortable breaths. And then when you're ready, slowly bring your hands back beside the body and bring the feet together. And then we're going to take the knees into the belly. So take one knee over the belly, then the other, and hold either around the knees or below the knees. And we're just going to rock out from side to side. So rocking is really very good for soothing the nervous system. So you can just rock slowly, or you can make your rocking big movements. You just experiment with what feels right for you. And of course, if you don't want to rock, remember, you don't have to. Everything's always a choice. And then we're going to use the mantra just to do some gentle movements. So just come to pause. And then working with the breath, if you can, we're going to breathe in and straighten the arms as the knees move away from us. And then we're going to chant them into the belly. Ram, Ram, Ram. Rolling the R like a motorbike. Breathing in, the knees move away from us. Ram, Ram, Ram. So just do that a few times in your own breathing rhythm. Resting out whenever you need to. And then still think about manipura chakra. We're going to do some we're going to take one hand to each knee. We're going to circle the hips. So from the hips, we're going to inhale, let the knees come away from us as the elbows straighten. Open the knees wide apart. And then as we exhale, we draw the knees in towards us and then bring them together. So we're circling the knees from the hips. If you're not sure, just look up at your screen. And just keep your awareness focused on the area around the belly and the back of the spine, the mid-spine. And then reverse this movement. So you're circling in the other direction. And then when you're ready, drop your feet to the mat, if you're on a mat. And then your knees are bent. Bring the soles of the feet together so that you're resting out with the knees apart. So you're into the shape of a diamond. Your knees are making the shape of a diamond. Rest your hands on your belly. If you want to, you can put cushions or support under your knees. And just rest and breathe in this position. Again, visualizing light coming into the belly on the in-breath. And then when you're ready, you can bring the knees in together. If you need to, you can just massage around the groin if that's where you were feeling the intensity. Have the feet hip width apart, heels coming in towards the buttocks. Take the arms out like a cross. We're just going to do some gentle, simple twisting movements with the breath. And if you're not able to do the movement with the breath, just do the movement. The breath will come later. So take an in-breath where you are at. And as you exhale, just take the knees down towards the left. If they don't go all the way down, that's fine. Keep the shoulders aligned on your support. And then breathing in, lift the knees in time with that in-breath. And then slowly with the out-breath, take the knees down towards the right. Breathing in to lift the knees. Breathing out as the knees come down to the left and rolling the head to look over the right shoulder. On your next in-breath, center your knees and your head. Breathing out, knees come to the right and the head rolls to look over the left shoulder in the opposite direction from the knees. And just continue to move and breathe like that in your own breathing rhythm, resting out when you need to. So remember what I said at the beginning of the practice. You're not pushing yourself, you're not forcing anything. Whatever I am saying is a suggestion, it's not an instruction. If you need to rest, you honor that. There's a very important principle in yoga called ahimsa, and that means non-violence. In fact, it's the first of the yamas from the Yoga Sutras. And that starts with us, how we treat ourselves. So that means we listen in and we honor our body's energy levels. We don't push. We don't force anything. We rest when we need to. And then when the knees come down next to the left, roll the whole body just to rest onto the left side. And then when you're ready, and if you would like, please come up to a cat posture. So we're going to do some movement with hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. If you want to rest out and not do this, or if you prefer to do this from a chair, you can also do that too. So just take some time to transition. Think about the hands being spread, fingers being spread, so the palm is nice and solid on your support. And the hands are either under the shoulders, or if that's too strong on your wrists, you might like to take the hands slightly forward and bring the weight just slightly over the knees. And again, bring your awareness to focus around the belly area and the mid-spine. We're just going to circle around this area. I think we did this when we were working last week on Svadhisthana chakra, but this time I just want you to think about the mid section of the spine and the belly. So just make some nice slow circles, going one way and then the other way. So just playing about with this movement, focusing on the center part of the torso. And then coming back to center into a neutral cat. And we're going to do, again, we're going to introduce our chant with the movement. So I'm going to breathe in and lift my heart. And then I'm going to chant my bottom towards my heels. Ram, Ram, Ram. As I move, letting the head relax down. And then I breathe in, I come forward, I lift the heart. Ram, Ram, Ram. Inhaling, coming forward, lifting the heart. Ram, Ram, Ram. So just do that a few times in your own breathing rhythm, resting out when you need to. And when we rest, you can rest in pose of a child if it's comfortable for you by bringing the feet together, having the knees wide apart, taking your hand down to your mat and just sliding forward. So your head comes down between your arms. And if that's not comfortable, you can lie on your back. Or if you're on a chair, you can just roll forward. So you decide which position is comfortable for you and you rest down. Just take some resting breaths. Allow yourself to arrive in your body and take a moment or two to observe how you are now and the effect of the practice on the whole being, mind, emotions, physical body, and the breath. Just observing how you are. Just taking some time to restore from the movement. And then I invite you to come back to lying on your back. We're going to do one more movement before we go into our relaxation. So we're going to move into the bridge posture, Dvipadipittam, but we're going to focus again on manipura chakra. So if you'd rather rest, that's fine. But if you would like to come into bridge posture, take away any support from under your head. Have your knees bent, feet hip width apart, heels coming in towards the buttocks, and your arms are down by your side with the palms turned down. And again, have this sense as you inhale that you're breathing in light into the navel. And as you exhale, you just relax down. And again, think about the breath as an even inhalation and an even exhalation. And keeping your awareness in the belly, inhale into the belly and lift the hips to come up onto the shoulders, keeping the neck long. So we're thinking about lifting a light-filled belly up towards the ceiling. And then exhale down to bring the bottom and the hips back down to the support, to your mat. And if that's enough, rest out now. Otherwise, you can take yourself through that once or twice more. Breathing in to lift your light-filled belly up towards the ceiling, keeping the knees stable and the neck long. Exhaling, even exhale to come back down. So do that 2 or 3 times in your own breathing rhythm. And if you want to hold in the position for 1 or 2 breaths, you can, but keep listening to your energy levels. Don't push. Remember, this is not about fitness. And also remember that the breath gives as much energy to the cell as exercise does. So by breathing, we're kind of hacking our energy. We're bringing energy to the mitochondria. In terms of yoga, we're bringing prana into the system without the need to exercise. The breath is what's important. And when you decide that you want to relax, just draw the knees into the chest again to counterpose that posture. Again, you can rock out from side to side. And then take some time when you're ready to relax back down. Just take a moment or two again to bring your awareness into your physical body, observing where you are touching your support and where there are spaces, and observing the effect of the practice on the whole being, mind, body, emotions, breath, energy. And making this observation without judgment. So we're just allowing everything to be as it is without any resistance to our present moment experience, just accepting everything as it is, but also observing how we are, no judgment, just a sense of curiosity. And then again, bring your awareness to the belly area and the mid-spine, manipura chakra, this sense of digestion, transformation, willpower. And just meditate on these qualities for a few moments before we go into our relaxation. You might like to ask the reflective question, how is my willpower? Because as the energy in manipura becomes stronger, this sense of prana becomes more balanced, so our willpower becomes greater, our sense of self. And obviously we're not talking about having a massive ego, we're just talking about having a sense of self which is balanced as we interact with the rest of the world. So that we're not overpowered by others, but we're not overpowering others either. There's this nice sense of harmony. And then take your hands again to your belly. And if you would like, you can chant on the exhalation, Ram, Ram, Ram. Or you can just hum. Or you can just breathe out. Do that 2 or 3 times in your own breathing rhythm. And then please get ready for the deeper relaxation, the Yoga Nidra practice, which we're going to do now. So if you would like to use any blankets or eye masks or padding under your knees or head, I'll just give you a moment or two to get yourself really comfortable. And then we're going to do a Yoga Nidra, which is actually from my first book, The Fatigue with Yoga. I came across this and I thought this would be quite a nice Yoga Nidra to do. I'll just give you a moment or two to get ready. So lying in any position which helps you to relax, that might be sitting or lying, might even be in a bed. Just take a moment or two to relax as much as possible, being aware of your breathing if it's comfortable for you to be aware of your breath. And just notice your body and how you're feeling. Just be aware of your points of contact with your support and where there are spaces. Now, as we start to relax, try to keep still if you're able to. And if you hear any external noise, just allow them to be part of your experience, so you're not resisting anything. Just say to yourself, I am calm. I am practicing Yoga Nidra. And repeat this to yourself 3 times. But if you have another sankalpa or intention you like to use, that's fine too. You're now going to take your awareness around your body, just observing and relaxing each part as it's mentioned. Become aware of the thumb of your right hand, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of the hand, the whole hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the chest, waist, hip, thigh, knee, back of the knee, right calf muscle, the lower leg, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, the arch, middle of the sole, ball of the foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe. And now just experience your left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of the hand, the whole hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, the left side of the chest, waist, hip, thigh, knee, the lower leg, the ankle, heel, sole of the left foot, the arch, ball of the foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe. Become aware of both soles of the feet, both feet. Now bring your awareness to your right buttock, left buttock, right side of the lower back, left side of the lower back, right side of the upper back, left side of the upper back, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, spine, the whole back, the neck, back of the head, top of your head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, the space between the eyebrows, the whole nose, tip of the nose, tongue, lower lip, both lips, chin, throat, the mouth, taste inside the mouth, sensation of the mouth, space below the mouth, the neck, right chest, left chest, the whole of the chest, the heart center, stomach, below the stomach, pubic area, the whole of the right leg, the whole of the left leg, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, the whole of your head. Now, experience your whole body. Just be aware of the whole body. Become aware of heaviness in the body against your support. Your right arm is heavy. Feel the weight increasing. Feel heaviness in the entire arm. Now your left arm. Your left arm is heavy. Feel heaviness in the whole of the left arm. Now your left hand, shoulder, the whole arm. Now your head, your legs, your feet, and your abdomen, and your back. Just feel comfortably, safely heavy all over. Your eyes feel heavy. Your forehead and entire face feel heavy and relaxed. Now become aware of lightness. Light arms, light feet, light legs, light head, light body. Your whole body is light all over. You feel as if you could float like a cloud off your support. Now think of cold. Remember what it feels like to walk on a cold floor, to touch a cold window pane or a snowball. Take this experience and feel cold as if you are outside in winter. You accept this feeling, you were just observing it. Cold feet, cold hands, cold head. Now be aware of comfortable warmth, as if you're lying on a warm beach. You are lying dozing in the heat as your body becomes comfortably warm. Hands, arms, legs, head, body are warm. Your navel is so warm, it radiates warmth out to the whole body. Now feel pleasure throughout your body. Imagine you are lying in your favorite place, perhaps a beautiful garden, on a beach, or in the countryside. Just have a state of carefree being. You are lying relaxed and happy and content just to be. Now forget your body and be aware only of your awareness of you, your real self, who is at rest and who is just observing your physical body. Silently repeat to yourself 3 times, I am calm, I am practicing yoga nidra. Or if you have a different focus, repeat that 3 times. Start to become aware of where you are lying on your support and those places of contact of your body with your support. Be aware where you are not touching your support, where there are spaces. Become aware of any sounds you can hear outside your space and any sounds you can hear that are near to you. Become aware of any smells or tastes you might be aware of. Just the sense of air touching your skin, whether that's cool or warm. And the invitation now is to remain relaxing and rested if you would like. Otherwise, when you are ready and taking as much time as you need, just begin to make gentle movements with your body in any way that feels right. Maybe your toes and your fingers. And then maybe your arms and your legs. And when you are ready, just roll to one side and stay there for a moment or two. If you would like, taking as much time as you need, slowly start to come up to sitting. Now, particularly because you may have had a deep relaxation, you need to take some time to wake up again. So be gentle with yourself. Start by rubbing the hands together and then palming the eyes. So softly have the palms over your eyes and blink the eyes open and closed a few times into the palms. And then when you're ready, just shake out the hands. And you might like to clap the hands a few times just to change the energy. And then open your eyes and look around your space. So look at the corners where the wall meets the ceiling. Look at the furniture. Just feel yourself connect again in the present moment to the space. And if you want to actually stand up and walk around, please do so. And then we are going to close the session with a chant of peace. So we do this for ourselves and for everybody here in our community. So take the hands to the Namaste Mudra over the heart center. And when you're ready, we're going to take an inhalation and open the arms wide, just sending peace to everybody that's here. And then we're going to chant peace back to our hearts as we chant Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Breathing in again, just sending out peace and light to everybody here in our community. And then to our hearts like a lullaby. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Once more, inhaling, sending out peace, light, and love to everyone in our community and to your hearts. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And just close the eyes if that's comfortable for you. And just have a sense of peace in your heart. Just stopping here for a moment or two as we rest in meditation.